welcome to Video School of Guitars Production, Level 2, How to Play Great Jazz Guitar with hardly any knowledge at all. Don't you just love it? Okay, today what we're going to cover in depth, because we're going to pull all the stops out in the next one, Level 3. Today what we're going to cover in depth is the melodic minor scale, the harmonic minor scale, and we're going to relate everything today to this piece that I played on the intro, which is a C minor blues. So let's have a tuning note, and then I'm going to show you a little chart that comes with your video just to look at for a second, and then we'll get into this. Okay, here's our tuning note. This is an A440. It's our 5th string. Here's a 12th fret harmonic for those of you who like those. All right. Now if you'd like to refer to this chart, I'll go ahead and show that to you. Okay, pay very close attention to, no matter what key you're playing in, that you need to look at the 5 shapes that all of your scales and your chords result from. We'll try and analyze this for you as best as we can. All right. First thing I think we'd like to show you, since we're going to deal with the meat of this song, is 3rd position E flat major scale and C minor scale, and then we'll go into the melodic minor and the harmonic minor. So pay attention to my left hand, okay? This is the E flat major scale taken from its 3rd note, which is G. Give you a little sound there. G, F, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. Now you notice the notes start repeating themselves. A flat, B flat, C, E flat, I'm sorry, D, excuse that mistake, E flat, F, G, A flat, and B flat. So from E flat to the 6th note, then to continue playing the scale, but let's go down an octave to the C down here on the 5th string, 3rd fret. We can now play the scale over again, so we understand clearly the minor scale and its relationship to the major scale. So let me play that a few times. They say a few is 3, so that was 3 times. Now here's the major scale a few times. Okay, listen to the relationship difference. This is very critical to hear this in jazz. Okay, now, we have a few chords here, and we need to cover these chords because then we're going to go into this scale. Okay, we have an E flat 6. We can play that with the 5th note in the bass, which would be B flat. So we merely move our pinky up here. And our pinky must mute out the 5th string. Okay, we also have a 6-9 chord, E flat. Okay, so the notes are E flat, G, C, and F. It can be fingered a couple of different ways. This is probably the most convenient way. It's not the only way, though. Sometimes the chord may be fingered with all four of the fingers. So in reality, the first finger bars the fourth and third strings. So that's an E flat 6/9. Now we need to look at all of our other chords. We've covered these in level 1, but we're going to do a few changes now. Since the song is in the key of C minor, we need to examine a couple of things that happen in C minor. First of all, C minor has what's called a 2 chord. Simply just go up to the second note in the scale, which is D, and the chord is called D minor 7 flat 5. Okay, that's how it's voiced. That's F, C, A flat, and D. That's how the chord's played. Okay. Now, we need to play the G7 chord. These are the good chords. These are the ones that sound good. The keyboard players and the horn players won't look at you funny if you play these type of chords. If you play a chord like this, they're going to all turn around and look at you and talk about you while they're on break. Okay, so the notes are D, B, F, and G in the bass. Okay, for our actual song that we're doing, we have D minor 7 being the 1 chord, or the focal key chord of the song. Although there's another chord you might like to know about. Okay, so let's just show it. It is a C minor 6 with a 9th added in. Simply put, it's a C note, an E flat note, an A note, and a D on the second string. So it's second string, third string, fourth string, and fifth string. It's an inside 4 chord, they call it, inside 4 strings. Another way that it can be played is to not use the C note, even though it's a C minor chord, and use the G, which is the bass note, or the 5th note in the bass note. In other words, simply G, E flat, A, and D. Okay, so that's a very good sounding note and chord. You can also alternate. It might sound country the way I'm picking it, but if you hear it like this, of course I'm picking it with my fingers, but here I'm picking it. So that's our 1 chord. This is our 2 chord. This is our 5 chord. This is our 1. And here's our trick 1. Also, it sounds very good to go from the C minor 7 to the C minor 6/9. You may also play a C minor 6. I would not recommend playing it on the inside 4, which would be, in other words, a bar across the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, second finger here on the A note. That's a C minor 6, but it's not a good sounding one. It's better if you don't use the C root and play the G in the bass. So in reality, what you're playing is you're playing part of an F7 chord, this F7 bar chord. You're just playing those 3 notes, the E flat, the A, and the C, with a G in the bass. bass. So that's the good sounding C minor 6. Now the point I had wanted to make was going from the C minor 7 to the C minor 6 or the C minor 6/9. So we're going 2, so what we're hearing is we're hearing a note on the second string, so it makes it sound very competent. Okay, in this song, the actual chords are C minor 7 or one of these derivatives, the minor 6 or minor 6/9, F minor 7, and it's same. That's one way you can play the F minor 6/9. The notes are G, D, A flat, and F. So you can go from the F minor 7, which is A flat, E flat, C, and F, down to the C minor 6/9 and resolve the 9th note to the root, which is C, which makes it a minor 6th chord. Okay, and we have, besides the C minor 7 and the F minor 7, we have a thing that is done a lot in jazz where the 5 chord, which in this case is G7, is approached from a half step above. So let's pay very close attention to this part right here. This is a flat 7 chord. Let me show you that again. Okay, these 3 fingers are on the 4th fret, the pinky is on the 5th fret. Okay, now the idea of approaching here is to come from the A flat 7 down to a modified G7. What happens to the G7 is it's a G7 sharp 5. Okay, and that's totally bona fide or valid, whichever word you prefer, because the D note is the 5th note of the G scale, and it has been raised up a half step, thereby being sharp. So that sounds real nice. And then you can even have that note go down by playing this chord, the C minor 6/9, and there you have it. Okay, now that's a treatment on the chords pertaining to this song. Now let's go ahead and look at the melodic minor scale for the key of C minor, C minor. So C minor and E flat major share the same. If you see 3 flats over by the treble clef in your music, that means it's in the key of E flat or C minor. So let's approach the C minor melodic minor scale. And this is the jazz minor scale. Okay. What it is it's C, that should be considered by you as number 1. The D is number 2. The E flat is number 3. The F is number 4. The G is number 5. So at that point it's just a regular minor scale, just a C minor scale. Here's what makes it the jazz minor or melodic minor. Instead of using an A flat like we normally would, we use an A note. Okay, we use an A note. Then we use instead of a B flat note, we use a B note. So what we're doing with this is we're using instead of this, we're using this note. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? And that's how it works. Now, if we do the whole scale, we have, let's see, let's check this out. Okay, here we go. That's as far as we can go in the position, but we can put our pinky down there to play the B again. So let's come down the scale. B, A, G, F, E flat, D, C, B, A, G, F, E flat, D, and that's C. Here's B, A, and G. So that sounds like this then if it's played a little bit faster, but we'll play it with a jazz feel. Okay, let's have a little example now and play along with our tape. Playing with the melodic minor, you have to be careful sometimes. I invite you to try some notes, for instance. There I use just an E flat major scale on the F minor 7 chord. Here's the melodic minor. That's just the E flat major scale played from F, or from A flat. Try that line. I'm going to play it again. have noticed that I wasn't comfortable totally with using the melodic minor scale all the time. Nonetheless, I wanted to show it to you. It's a real hard one to call. Sometimes you have to go to lead off into your line making or your formulating passages from these scales that you're learning. But at the same time, you have to stick to known good notes. In that particular song example, this one we're working with, a C minor blues, a B flat is a very strong note, and a B is not. It's more of a passing tone. So you have to go. There's just like a million different things you can do. Watch my left hand. We're going to go into a lot more examples on this because we're going to turn right around and do this again after I show you some things. So pay attention to my left hand. Okay, thank you. First of all, we have some arpeggios, and those are chord tones played. They're the notes that make the chords, and they're played one at a time. They may be played up, or they may be played down. So let's just name these arpeggios and consider that they're very functional tools to use in this C minor blues. By the way, once you play the C minor blues well, you can play any minor blues, D minor blues, E flat minor blues, L minor blues. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, now here's a flat major 7 arpeggio. The notes are G, E flat, C, and A flat. And you can see that that's the third position. Third position because I'm using my first finger to play some notes on the 3rd fret. Each fret is a position. In case you didn't know that, that's what they are. So here we have the A flat major 7 chord arpeggio. And the top 3 notes of it are a C minor arpeggio. Isn't that interesting? Now, here is a C minor 7 arpeggio. Okay, this is C, E flat, G, B flat, then it would repeat C, E flat, G, B flat. So let's play it slowly descending from the 6th fret, pinky finger. We can get 2 extra notes on the bottom string too, the 6th string, so we can get go through that one more time slowly. This is a great arpeggio for the entire song as far as that goes. If it's all you played, it would work wonderfully. There were some modifications using the C minor pentatonic scale as well as the E flat major pentatonic scale, both the same scale. So that sounds really good for this song. Now I'd just like to explore quickly a couple of relationships. The C minor 7 arpeggio is 100% totally related to, in the 5th position, the E flat major 7 arpeggio, which also will span out of its position on the 1st string. So let's examine it. From the D note to the E flat, G, B flat, D, E flat, G, B flat, and D. Let's play that slowly again. Fingering is optional, whatever works for you. And you want to be able to play it that fast eventually. Believe me, when I first learned them, I could not. Okay, so listen to the two arpeggios together. E flat major 7. Then listen to the C minor 7. There are many, many things you can do with those arpeggios. You also have to pay very close attention to the use of triads. Such a simple thing as the A flat major chord triad played right here in 4th position. There's even going to be a time when you can use that major 7 arpeggio that I've shown you at the first of this little section. And I think it would be worthwhile to show you this arpeggio. It's difficult to use well. I don't even use it that well myself, but I'd like for you to see it. This is a G augmented arpeggio. So this contains the notes G, B, E flat. Notice that the E flat creeps in there, and a G again. So here's a sample line for you to build on to try and play with this song, okay? And this is what it is. It would be descending the E flat major 7 arpeggio, to the A flat major 7, and then you can go up it, up the arpeggio. Actually, at that point, it would be real wise to come down on the G augmented arpeggio. So we'll go over this again. With 2 notes, simply the D and the C, finishing to your C. Okay, so look at this again. That's a great line. If you just learn it well and are convinced of how you play it, which would be with a good swing feel, in other words. It works real well. Listen to it again. That's just straight 8th notes, but if you had a little bounce in it, it would sound like this. Well, I missed the G, but anyhow. That's it, okay? So combining that with your C minor pentatonic scale, and your E flat major pentatonic scale, they're both the same. Those are what is considered C form in your fretboard logic chart, okay? However, they need to be played in 3rd position to play with this song. Okay, so anyhow, just a quick note on one other thing. This is also a very nice turnaround for that part of the progression. And this is what it is. It is, and this is a jazz trick, folks, it is the A-flat melodic minor scale. And it has to be played right at the moment that the A-flat 7 chord is struck. In other words, so we're going... So this is another sample line, just for the back side of the chord progression. Let's examine it. See, notice I didn't revert to the melodic minor coming down at the very end right there. I had to go back into the C minor. Let's do it again. Okay, so that's a great line. That's a wonderful line. Okay, let's go ahead and try it with the song and see how it sounds. Watch my left hand. Okay, now E flat major 7 arpeggio. You play it. The A flat major 7, the C minor pentatonic scale, the A flat melodic minor scale. Okay, again, E flat major 7, A flat major 7, C minor pentatonic. Okay, now watch me again. I'm going to use the same thing. See, I snuck in the melodic minor right there. It works when you weasel it in. And remember, your E flat major scale will never let you down in this type of song. Let's try a few chords, okay? That's just a simple fourth. You can use those and really fake it. All the time when I didn't understand about the chords. Isn't that amazing? Melodic minor arpeggio. All right, we're going to show you some more things now in the 5th and 6th position. And these are going to be related to all the various things we talked about already, which would be the E flat major scale and the C minor scale. We'll also deal with a few of the arpeggios in a simpler form because they're easier to remember. Okay, so watch on my left hand now. and let's have a look at this. This is the 5th fret, okay? So here's our E flat major scale in what we would call A form, A shape. Starts from the note B flat to C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat. Now we're repeating where we started here. That'll give you also a good idea for some octaves. Okay, so B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. At this point we need to play the A flat right there. B flat, C, and we can go ahead and just reach out of the position with the pinky and play the D note. So here's the scale descending. So that means if we were to play this scale sequentially against, say, a C minor 6 chord, here's a way to play that chord right here too. Some of you may know the 9th chord used in rhythm and blues or in blues. In any case, if you don't play the root note and you move it down there, then it becomes the root note of a minor 6 chord. So let's examine this real briefly. We have G, we have E flat, we have A, and we have C. Once again, the 5th string is muted by the 2nd finger, or some finger, the finger that's up on the 6th string. This is the 2nd finger in this example. Okay, then we can play the chord we had learned down earlier in the 3rd position. For the F part of our blues, the F minor 6 with an added 9th. So that's F minor 6, add 9. Or F minor 6, 9, whichever way you want to call it. C minor 6. F minor 6, 9. All right, what we have here now is some information for you to deal with the turnaround so that you don't sound lame when you're playing. And this is a very simple thing to do. This chord can be played 2 different ways, okay? What it is it's for the A flat 7. And as it exists, what it is right now is it's an A flat 13 chord. But it has the 9th note on top of it, okay? So if you take the 9th note and refinger the chord, first let's finger it the way it is. Then let's refinger it this way. So watch my fingers move. Okay, so we're basically taking a 13th chord with the 9th on top and then changing that into the root, which is A flat. So this is a very swift move. You go, then you drop down to, this is a 13 flat 9, and it's really hard to see, so let's just build it from the high note up. And this, incidentally, is your flatted 9th tone right there. So here's your change again. Then we go down to that C minor 6 chord, which is just an F9 with a C in the bass. One more time. Okay, now let's show you the line that makes you sound good for cleaning it up. In other words, for working through this change. And this is it. It's an A-flat melodic minor scale. And that's how the line works if you do it this way at this speed. Okay, kids, now we're going to have some fun again, because what we're going to do is play, and you get to play a lot this time, but I would appreciate it if you would try to imitate me, because it will help you dramatically. And we're going to play the C minor blues again, and we're going to revolve around the areas of the 5th position up to maybe about 10th position. You'll just have to pay very close attention to my left hand. Here we go. Try that. It works. So I can use the whole line for the whole thing. Okay, you try it now. Your turn. Try that line. Here's a nice one. Okay, your turn. Okay, my turn. Check out this melodic minor line from A flat. All right, now we're going to have some more fun, because what we're going to do for the final portion of this tape is apply the pentatonic scale and the blues scale to a B-flat bebop jazz blues. This is one of the other things you need to play, because this is what they play when you go to the jam sessions and try out your wings. So if you pay close attention to my left hand, I'll show you a couple of things. All right? There. There's the left hand. Okay. First of all, we just want to know about these basic chords. This is very important. We have a B flat 13 chord. Some things will call it, publications, learning books, methods, teachers, other guitarists will call it a B flat 7/6. We don't care. 7 plus 6 equals 13, right? Okay, so that's our one chord. Adding to that, we can play the non-root. There is no B flat in this chord, in these notes. This is F, C, A flat, and D. But this is a B flat 9 chord. Okay, so listen to how it works with the B flat 13. So that's going to be our two chords to alternate for our one chord. Okay. Now, we may also play that B flat 13 with the C note on top. It's still a B flat 13 because 13 is higher than 9, but that's the ninth on the top. Don't worry about the numbers, just do it. You can lay your pinky down on this form and pick up the C, and then you can have it be a C9 that has the ninth, or I'm sorry, has the name note, the C, in it. I'm very sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm all right. Now, another thing we can do too is we can play the B flat 7 with the last 3 fingers. Those are the only notes we want to sound. And we can also put in the flat 5, which is the natural E note on the 5th fret, 2nd string. So we have. There's so many little things you can do. You can do that's just turning that B flat 13 into a sus chord. Okay, now we need to examine the 4 chord. Okay, the 4 chord is E flat 9. You may also play, if you wish, E flat 13, just like the one you learned a little bit ago. And you're also going to need to know about moving from E flat, whatever dominant chord you choose to use, to the flat 5 diminished chord, which is E diminished. So let's examine it real quickly. That's a G note, that's a D flat, that's a B flat, and that's an E. And what happens is when you're getting ready to leave the 4 chord, that half step higher diminished chord leads you to the 1 chord. And a lot of times what they do on these blues is they'll go down a whole step and then another half step. At that point, you wind up being in what's called 6 dominant. Don't worry about the word 6 or dominant. Just be sure you know that it's a G dominant chord, either a G9, G13 with a 9th on top. That's all that's important. Even a G7. Okay. And then what they do generally is they go to 2, 5, they go up from 1, and that's called flat 3, locked down chromatically. Okay, so let's examine the progression because you're going to need to know this. We'll do it very simply. We're doing it really slow. 4 chord, E flat 9. That's to the E diminished. That's the B flat 13. Drop it down to a A flat 13, to a G 13, and then we're going to go C minor 7. That's an F7 with a sharp 9th. There would be an F9. But because we raised the 9, we're just going to call it an F7 sharp 9 because that's what they call it no matter who you are. Then that will put us back to B flat 9, which we can take up 3 frets and drop it down a fret at a time. Okay, let's look at the scale briefly. The best scale to use for this initially to try your wings is the blues scale, which is the minor pentatonic scale with a flatted 5th note in it. And here's how it looks from the highest note in this position. By the way, the position is 6th position. So here's our high note. All right, now I'd like for you to watch my left hand when I roll this tape, and I'd like for you to play along with me and alternate. I'd like for you to practice chords and scales. And I'd also like to say at the end of this, goodbye, because I'm out of here, and I'll look for you in level 3. try some octaves.
Minor blues.